Outside the ornate estate, Yi watched two suited men walk away, trying to understand what was happening. When he approached the gate, the guards demanded to know who dared enter Brother's private grounds. Yi shouted for everyone to move, urgency cutting through his voice. The two men paled at once, recoiling from a threat they had not seen coming. Nearby, a bottle of wine in a filled glass sat untouched, absurdly calm amid the brewing violence. He stood with his weapon ready, while the relaxed men ahead remained unaware of the danger closing in. With a furious swing, he drove his sword forward and threw himself into battle. His glare sharpened as he warned his enemy that their next meeting would end in regret. He charged again, declaring that he would end this fight himself. Lightning flashed as he struggled on the ground, one hand reaching desperately for safety. Smoke rolled over the wreckage, leaving Yi coughing and wondering what had just happened. A furious voice rang out, demanding to know who had dared kick down the door. Through the thick smoke, Yi stepped toward the crouching figure below. His red eyes glowed through the haze, cold and merciless. Without hesitation, he advanced, cutting through the heavy mist toward his target. The muscular man glared at him and accused him of killing his men. The man demanded the truth at once, asking where his parents had been taken. Yi's anger erupted as he blamed the enemy for dragging his parents into this blood debt. The memory of his father's terrified face struck him, and doubt twisted painfully inside his chest. Rage overcame hesitation, and Yi raised his sword to protect his parents at any cost. His enemy mocked him with open arrogance, but Yi refused to step back. He answered with a brutal punch that smashed straight into the man's face. The shockwave hit him hard, forcing his body to brace against the impact. Someone stared in disbelief, shocked that Yi had advanced so quickly in the climbing pond realm. He stood tall and revealed that he had already reached the 6th rank of that realm. The red-haired man laughed at him, asking whether he had lost his mind by daring to challenge him. Stone armor formed around Yi's opponent as the real fight began. Blood on his face, the armored man raged that Yi had forced his father to reveal his true strength. He lunged forward and drove a heavy fist toward Yi. The descending blow loomed over Yi, making his eyes widen in shock. Yi swung his weapon with everything he had, determined to cut through the armor. His blade struck hard, fury burning in his eyes. The armored figure rushed him again, and Yi reached out in desperation. A powerful hit sent Yi staggering backward. Standing over him, the armored man sneered that the gap between them could never be crossed. Yi knelt with his weapon in hand, surrounded by enemies who looked like pigs in his eyes. He reached toward his belt, preparing a desperate countermeasure. His full-force slash landed cleanly, yet the armored man remained standing. If the blade failed, Yi decided, then he would break that armor with his fists. The stone-armored man invited him to try, boasting that his defense could not be pierced. A shadow fell over Yi, and fear flashed through him for the first time. Still, he clenched his jaw and faced the towering stone figure head-on. Yi struck upward with furious force. Energy surged around his hands as he prepared to continue the assault. His punch landed with stunning force, sending tremors through the armored body. Yi rushed forward again, refusing to let the opening pass. His fist crashed into the target, scattering debris in every direction. Stone shards tore through him, and he screamed as pain racked his body. Grabbing the butcher by the hair, he forced the monster to face him. The bloodied boar roared and thrashed in agony. He demanded again to know where his parents were. Someone cried for him to stop, begging him not to let his father die. He shouted that he would save them, no matter what it took. Another man panicked, afraid that moving even once would get him killed as well. Standing over the beaten beast, he demanded that the attacker stop and tell him what he knew. His voice cracked with frustration as he searched for answers amid the chaos. The frightened man confessed that he had gone to a friend's house to collect $1 million, only to find 3 tall, black-robed figures waiting there. Yi's fist tightened, fury flaring as he demanded to know why they had lied to him. Through tears, the man insisted that Yi's father had been arguing with someone over something important. The traditional building ahead seemed to hold every unanswered question behind its doors. Yi stopped before the wooden entrance, considering his next move. He watched the confrontation inside with growing dread as angry gestures cut through the room. A hooded figure stared into the darkness, ready for whatever waited there. Red eyes glared from the shadows with murderous intensity. Yi's own fury rose as he prepared to confront the source of it all. Then he hit the ground hard, pain and defeat twisting across his face. The man on the ground claimed that Yi's parents and the black-robed figures had already vanished, leaving Yi to demand proof. With too many questions unanswered, Yi turned away from the defeated figure. Then he noticed a letter and reached for it in surprise. A hidden hand seemed to have left the mysterious item for him to find. From a torn bag, a glowing object slid into view. Yi gripped the crumpled paper tightly, bracing himself for what it might say. The farewell letter carried both sorrow and hope, each word heavier than the last. His heart sank when he recognized his father's handwriting. In the letter, his father told him that he had grown up and was ready to walk his own road. He wrote that he was proud to let his son choose a path for himself. If he wished to live an ordinary life, his father would gladly bear the burdens in his place. The words promised that if fate allowed, they would meet again at the summit. The letter lay before Yi like a final and trusted secret, igniting a new determination in him. He crossed the patterned floor, intent on chasing the figures who had fled. Holding the envelope, he stood in silence beneath the weight of his unanswered questions. In the haze ahead, a distant figure seemed to command all his attention. He reached toward the memory of his injured father and swore vengeance. The desperate voice begged for revenge, admitting that he was no longer strong enough to fight. He touched his tear-streaked face, forced to accept the harsh reality before him. His hand moved toward the phone on the table, anxiety tightening his chest. Seeing a call from his cousin, he picked up with sudden concern. Two women's teasing gazes made him sit awkwardly, unsure how to respond. On the phone, a panicked voice begged Yi to help, claiming someone had nearly killed him. He shouted back, demanding to know who and dared cause trouble. The answer hit him with shock and anger, and he pressed for more details. Someone repeated in disbelief that Yi was only a pig butcher. The sinister man on the phone grinned with glowing red eyes, calling Yi a brat and promising to settle every old and new debt. A trembling hand held the cracked family photo while Yi whispered to his parents. The enemy grabbed Yi by the hair and dragged him closer. He carried the heavy spiked bundle over his shoulder, ready for the path ahead. He stood firm and declared that he would find the people who mattered to him. Holding, Yi thought grimly about the terrifying power of the black-robed men. The Nine Heavens Alliance, he realized, might be his only chance to find them. The emblem of hammer and anvil shone before him, symbolizing the forge. At the forge entrance, a beast-headed figure called out to Yi. Master Tai leaned closer to the blade and demanded to know whether it could truly endure. Yi met the creature's gaze and affirmed that he was ready for the challenge. The boar-like master pointed curiously at the bundle on Yi's back. Yi lifted the heavy object, surprised by the attention it drew. The boar-faced master stared in astonishment at what Yi had brought. He gasped when he recognized the golden venom spider legs. Yi was startled by the name Golden Venom Spider. Master Tai lifted the material excitedly, calling it priceless and perfect for enchanting a weapon. Yi struggled to follow the complicated talk of enchantment and asked how it worked. Holding the weapon, the master explained the spider leg's rare attributes while Yi listened closely. Yi wondered whether two powerful attributes could be combined into a single enchantment. The beast-headed master explained that extracting one attribute would cause the other to dissipate, then offered to enchant the blade for free. Faced with the choice between poison and gold, Yi weighed the consequences carefully. Gripping the golden material, he smirked and made it clear he was not as foolish as he looked. The fiery, claw-like object burst from its container. Within the flames, the boar-like master loomed like a fierce guardian of the forge. Golden light streamed down the blade as he activated its new power. Master Tai swung his hammer, releasing a blazing surge of forging energy. Time passed while finished weapons hung quietly along the wall. At last, a beautifully crafted blade caught Yi's eye with its intricate design. Master Tai boasted that he had given Yi a free enchantment, a generosity rarely offered. When Yi took the weapon, it suddenly felt heavier, and he thanked the master with genuine respect. Still puzzled, he asked what the enchantment actually did. The master explained that the effect would trigger after a certain number of strikes, and that the gold attribute relied on critical hits. Yi realized with satisfaction that choosing the gold attribute had been the right decision. He gripped the ornate weapon, eager to unleash its power in battle. When he tried to activate the effect, nothing happened, leaving him briefly frustrated. He focused harder, letting the glowing blade hum with restrained anticipation. Yi thanked Master Tai with sincere eagerness. The beast-headed master waved him off as he left, already thinking about the road ahead. Soon Yi stood before the distant base of the Nine Heavens Alliance. A long-haired figure approached from above, making Yi look up warily. The older man asked why Yi was standing on the staircase. Someone nearby wondered what the principal himself was doing there. The imposing principal explained that he had come to recommend academy students to the Nine Heavens Alliance. Yi's eyes widened at the unexpected encounter. The principal bluntly said Yi was not on the recommendation list because he lacked a recognized combat profession. Frustration surged through Yi as he realized just how high the Alliance's standards were. The principal leaned forward and demanded to know what Yi was doing there. Yi lifted the weighted bundle and explained that he was training for mountain climbing. The long-haired elder advised him to abandon combat ambitions and focus on mastering pig butchery instead. He answered lightly that he would return to butchering pigs right away. Despite the casual reply, the dim room left him uneasy under the older man's gaze. The cloaked elder approached and asked what realm Yi had reached. Yi estimated that he should be around the first-rank climbing pond realm. The elder was stunned by how quickly he had advanced in only a few days. Even the experienced principal fell silent, struggling to accept such speed. He stood over a pile of defeated creatures, knowing exactly how much effort it had taken to reach that level. The principal looked at him seriously and asked whether he had anything else to say. Then a stranger stepped forward and invited Yi to enter the college entrance tournament. Yi was surprised, asking whether that tournament was reserved for the strongest combat profession elites. The principal explained that could not compete because of his chest injuries, and Yi raised his sword as the new candidate. Water ran down Yi's face as he connected the injury to the opportunity now placed before him. The speaker explained that even with Su's strength, the tournament depended on total team points. He warned the students that failing to enter the top 10 would damage the school's reputation. Yi frowned, clutching his clothes as he wondered what any of this had to do with him. The towering figure finally gave him the real bait. If he led them into the top 3, he could make any request. If you'd like to see your favorite titles retold, leave a comment, and I'll be sure to pick some of them up from time to time. Also, let me know which video format you like more, long videos or short ones. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you again soon.